for you. We have managed
check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Alright, what's up guys? This thing on? Let's see if I can hear myself, or if you guys can type in chat, let me know. Alright, I think it's working. So we'll go ahead and get started. Alright, cool. Leon Edwards. Do we got Leon Edwards in here? You just got rocked last fight. All good. Mic better now. That should be better. It's a little far away. Alright, cool. What's up, Tots? What's up, everybody? Good to see you, Tots. So we're gonna go ahead and go over some things. A little wrong on the market recently. Did think we were gonna bounce from up in this area after we filled this weekly fair value gap here and hold. But we went a little bit farther than I expected. Most of my position in Bitcoin and then a few alts that I'll go over. I'm gonna go over basically what I'm holding. And then go over some more potential trade ideas and entries. So on the list, I got basically Bitcoin, ETH, Ondo, MOG, AVAX, Solana, Tau, Cpool, and PAL, AI, and Moomoo. So those are like the main ones I want to look at. Go over bullish, bearish scenarios. I'm still a bull personally. Yes, we can go much lower, maybe I'll be wrong, but majority is spot. Got screwed a little bit on leverage recently, but that's fine. That's the name of the game. So let's look at Bitcoin. We're still in the channel. This is the channel I've been looking at for a while here now. One thing I do want to point out is these lows that we've been over here, like this entire area, we're starting to see if we can get back and reclaim this area here. This whole zone is going to be an area where we've had support. There's demand down here. So we are looking here. A bunch of times we've wicked into it, we've had demand. If we start getting a bunch of closes down here and everything, then we can watch out. But so far this is forming up to be a nice daily wick. Doesn't mean we can't come back down, retest it again, kind of like we did in some of these over here. But just to keep your eye out. And if we do, maybe we are rejecting pretty much the midpoint of the channel I have at the current moment. So I do want to see us start to get back above that level if we're gonna hold here. I got bullish and bearish scenarios here, so let's go ahead and show the macro bearish one right now currently, which I've seen a lot of harmonic guys post this one. It is possible, still doubt this one. For me to really start looking at this one, I do need us to start closing below this level here and really rejecting this level for me to actually turn super bearish on that end. So basically if we started closing below here for BAM, we get below here and we start rejecting, then yes, I could potentially be looking for some farther downside down here, or it'll just be a no trade zone for me, which is probably the latter one. And just mark out levels for spot. So this is a nice bullish bat harmonic that would complete down here if this fills. Like I said, I don't know if this one, I personally still do not think this is as low as we're going to go for Bitcoin, but it is always a possibility. So I just want to point that out for you guys. That'd probably reach up. You'd probably get your 200 here if that happened on your weekly. I still think we're macro accumulation bull flag. Reaccumulation. All right. Let's go over some of the alts I have. We do need this channel to hold for Bitcoin. I would like to see us get back above our 60K level here and start flipping that into support, because that is a very important level. But we can come down if you check your CME gap, which we have actually, since it is the weekend, we can't really see it, but we did touch down into it. So we'll see, even if we get a wick up, maybe we come back down during the week to refill it, and then from there maybe go. So this is where we left off on Friday. Over the weekend we did fill this, but it's not actually filled on the chart because it was over the weekend. So we're gonna have a gap up depending on where we open up over the weekend here. We could have a potential gap if we're down here and it opens here. Say we open down in this range again, this is going to get filled, then we'll have a gap higher too. But we'll see how this is. We actually came down and tapped on the chart. It was like 57.1, I believe, so right down here. Bitcoin dominance is still pushing pretty hard at the moment. We are starting to get up into the area where I do see alts start to really turn around here. So I've had this bullish shark here for a while, and can you guys not hear me? You tell me to turn it up more. Which mic do I have working? Is it not working? Okay. Oh fuck, did I have the wrong mic on? I don't know. Okay. Hopefully this is better for you guys. I'll just move it a little closer. Alright, so this is the area I've been looking for alt season, where alts are really going to be the ideal asset to get over Bitcoin. It's starting to come up into this bearish 5.0 from a 0.5 retracement, potentially up to the 618 here. And then from there, that's when you really, and you can actually see weekly, we had a fair value gap here. That is getting not tapped into yet, but it's very close. So this is an area that I was looking for, even this B point here that we come up into, where you're really going to see alts start to perform a little bit better than Bitcoin. It looks like we just tapped that, or almost tapped that today too. Yeah. So this is ideal area. We do have a crab harmonic here on Bitcoin dominance that I had identified down in this area. I did see it was a Gartley. We rejected from the Gartley at first. We continuation upwards. Once you continue way upwards, you flip the 786 into a support here, right here. Then Bitcoin dominance is going up. That's why I was like, be careful on some alts. Even though some of them I was still in. So I did take a little pain on leverage spot. Obviously, it's not that bad of a move. It's definitely a big move, but I mean, you can't get liquidated on spot. That's why it's always better. All right, so this area, hopefully we're looking for alts to be good buys. So with that being said, we'll start looking at some alts. Even ETH BTC, we're gonna look at ETH. So ETH BTC, I had this, it actually played out a lot better than I was gonna look at with the bullish bat. I drew this when we were down in this area to come up, fill the gap on ETH BTC, reject, come back down, and fill the bullish bat harmonic. So we do have a bullish bat harmonic here on a daily, 2-day time frame. Looking for maybe a potential move up with alts or ETH BTC at least, where you're going to see a little bit more strength with ETH. I still think macro target is going to be down here. So if we start falling through this again, this is going to be the area I am eyeing. Macro target for ETH BTC. You can really see this on like a 2-week and a monthly time frame. It's a really nice level where I think it's full port ETH over BTC. If we get this, that would just be instantaneous almost for me. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. This is what it looks like on a monthly level. But on the daily level, this has filled ETH BTC. So I do think ETH might outperform BTC, at least on the small time frame, as long as we don't lose that. I had a couple harmonics drawn on ETH. Let's go over the one that actually had failed first. So the first one I had, which I hesitated on it. I should have kept my hesitation. I thought we were going to sweep these all one more time, which we did. And I had this larger Gartley here for a minute. And sure enough, it ended up filling. So I did look at this one where we were going to try to do this smaller time frame Gartley into another Gartley. So that actually failed. Now we would be looking for a potential Gartley into Cypher, which would be this Gartley. This one is a potential crab that we had as well. So I have that marked out 23.33 in case we do dip that far. But now if this is going to play out, we're probably looking for a Cypher. So there's multiple harmonics here. Say this was the bottom. You'd still look for a Cypher. The target would be up here unless you're looking for a shark, 1.13. So if we do mark a bottom around here, I mean, you could still have your first Cypher target, which is 3,700, and then shark around 41.30. So let's see how low the sea leg goes, because that can really fuck with the shark or the Cypher patterns in the future to see what it's going to be. But we did sweep this area, all the lows here. So now if we can get a reclaim of this, you're looking for a PO3. And yes, this come back up, reject, go lower, then reclaim in the future. But this is the area for ETH that's probably going to be the best bids, is down here once you sweep all of these lows. So my original idea was actually the one. I was a little impatient looking at this smaller time frame, still daily Gartley that we had. And this one failed. So now this is the area that I am looking to try to see if we can get back in and go from here. So this is the higher time frame one, which is a nice Gartley when you're looking at it. And this was the original plan that I had. So we'll go back to that, should have stuck with it, and then go from here. So obviously leverage would not really use a ton of that anything. If you're going to have it, use 2-3x maybe, wide ECA range. and wait for things start to calm down, maybe accumulate a little bit. If you don't get the exact bottom, that's fine. Wait for some strength. Spot, obviously you want to buy spot the lowest points you can. Same with leverage, but with leverage you want to make sure that you're going to see some strength with everything too. I wanted to go over the cipher on Doge. We type 2 this. So cipher Doge had type 2. But here, let me go over ETH, and finish real quick before I click through things. So I have some levels marked off here. Deep crab, if we do go low, is going to be 23.33. So that'll be a zone for me that I would want to add. We have the 786 of a Gartley here at around 2,500. But anything below this is a good DCA in my opinion for ETH. And we want to see, even if you do maybe like 25, 50% in this range, and then you wait for a reclaim, and then if we get a reclaim above here and you see some strength and we're reclaiming and holding this, maybe add the other 50% here on a reclaim when you can see some strength in the market. One thing to point out too with ETH, if I go to a naked chart, it might be easier for y'all to see. We tapped the 50-day moving average on the weekly. So we swept all these lows. We tapped this weekly 50-day moving average, filled this weekly gap almost completely. We do have this last one down here, which would be that lower level if we do get it. Into a weekly order block, which would be the Gartley completion. So if we get that, say we do want to nuke all the way down, there is potential for this bat. As rough as this may look, always have it marked. I mean, sometimes I don't cover all of these because I don't want to scare everybody, but I do have these things marked and memorized. So I will go over them with you just so you guys are aware of possibilities that can happen. So this is a bullish bat harmonic. God forbid we already lost the B point. If we're really going to nuke and we start rejecting this area, I mean, this is always a possibility with a perfect bat harmonic, but this would be the best opportunity that you could probably ask for on ETH, which is 1817. And it's never out of the ordinary in crypto for this to potentially happen. I mean, look at these levels down here. So always keep that back in mind. What would it look like for your portfolio if you were down at that level, if you're in ETH? Are you comfortable with holding to that? Are you not? Do you have invalidations? All that type of stuff. So for now, probably one of the most important things to do is watch this the 50 MA on the weekly. Let's see if we're going to hold this level. Let's see if we can get back up and reclaim in the next few weeks here above this liquidity sweep that we had. Ideal area 2,500 for some good ads. We'll see if we get that or not. Yeah, everybody hit them likes. A lot of people, shout out to Wayne for helping me with the intro video. Thanks a lot, Wayne. But I know a lot of people were commenting on it. They really liked it. So, all right. Is there any questions you guys have about this? Yeah, so Tesla, if you guys are in my Discord, I did sell a good amount of these up at this deep crab level here from the initial Gartley that we had. And I know there's a lot going on right now on this chart. So let me close everything off. And I was gonna get some more calls on Friday, but I decided to wait until Monday open to see how everything's gonna react. because there was a small time frame crap here, but we failed the 1618 at the end of the day, so I did not add yet, but we are coming and crossing bullish here on moving averages. I want to see how we're going to react to this on Monday. I still believe macro levels are 346 before we even get back down to this level. And this is just normal price movement as well. I mean, everything in my eyes here still looks pretty good for Tesla. Worst case scenario, I think we come back down, we tap the 185 or 170s before we get our impulse move back up to 346. So that's what I was going to keep my eye in with everything. But we have stocks open in tomorrow, so I wouldn't jump into anything yet. I want to see how the market reacts. But yeah, still looks good in my eyes. And the way you can look at this too is, could have just put in the B point here. We get another move back down, you'd be looking at something like this. Then you have a double harmonic up here, right? So you put in a B point, I think, for a butterfly. You're looking for a C leg here. And that will be the Gartley, this large one right here. This green one lines up with the butterfly. So you could just be coming down to sweep one more time. Maybe we sweep down here and then reclaim, go. And that would be a type 2. You would hit this again, type 2 this zone. Anything in here, this is where I had my last buys at. Ideal buys again to run it back up. So 185 to 170 would be a steal, I think, if you can get it down there for that run up to 346. But I think you are putting in a B point here now, and Tesla just respects harmonics very, very well. So let's see how we react here. We're gonna get some consolidation, get back down, sweep into this, and then let's go. Let's look at, I wanted to look at PAL. I actually haven't looked at some of these for my spot bags as we've gone down, but this, they're giving you another opportunity to buy into PAL like AI right now. In my opinion, I think this is a really good coin for AI. Sorry, yawn. Coming back down, say we do completely nuke. Oh wow, that would be a beautiful buy. I doubt we get this, but if we do, 5 cents. I mean, ideally what I would like to see on this is we hold this large harmonic up here and we just accumulate at the 886 here, and then sooner or later get back above this level there and then reclaim. Got to give it some time here. Every opportunity down here at like the 18 cents, the 886, 19 cents, I believe is a good opportunity to DCA into this thing, because just from here, if you're gonna go into here, that's about a 3-4x that you're looking at, 5x, even higher for back to all-time high. I think this is a great coin. So good opportunity in my opinion. And the weekly, I mean, I forgot to point out earlier this one gap that you have down here. So if we do get this gap fill, I'd try to scrounge up. Oh, sorry, a little tired. I'd try to scrounge up a little bit more and try to buy some more of this coin. I like this coin. All right, let's see here. Wanted to look at MOG. All right. So I haven't actually looked at this one a ton recently. This was the last area that I had gotten into MOG, and I've honestly just been holding it. But it looks like we left some equal lows behind, which is eh. So this one actually went a little bit lower too, as well. If we're looking for 0.5886 here, next area on MOG, I'd be eyeing. So if we're going to do a bat pattern on MOG next, this would be the area that I'd be looking at, 8, 9. for the harmonic level at least. And the way I would look at it is if we start to flip this 886 into resistance. That's where I would probably add more spot if we got it. 8-9. Tapped into the weekly OB here. Yep, lower high, probably form a massive bullish divergence here. Yeah, 3-day even looks like it. I mean, right now you're already forming a hidden bullish divergence on the 3-day here. Lower low, higher low. This thing's going to continue, in my opinion. And I mean, if you want to do spot for a stop, this thing's down here, and for longer time frame, this is a very good meme. I think it does go much higher in the future. So these will be good buying opportunities, I believe. Even if you wanted to start DCA now, with if you're willing to hold 25-30% for multiple X's in the future, maybe start a DCA into this one. All right, let's go over a couple other things I wanted to look at. AVAX, Solana. All right, so AVAX came back and tapped this weekly order block that we had marked. This time we actually tapped the midpoint. So I bought spot on this one. I have my stop a lot lower on this in case it does go lower because it's spot. But yeah, this is a good level. I mean, we're holding the order block so far. And if you just, I mean, simply just look at this level that we got on and mark it. Like, this is historically a pretty good turning point that we've had here, resistance, 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 resistance. Turned into a mini support here with your order block, his support. So we could bounce from this level here. One thing to really look at is AVAX Bitcoin. And this one, we filled our weekly gap finally completely on the Bitcoin pair. So the weekly fair value gap is completely filled. You can actually mark it off here and see that you filled it. So this is something that's very interesting for me. I do think AVAX is going to start performing a little bit better than Bitcoin in the future. Let's see how we can, if we can get a reversal or something here. But this is something to keep an eye on. And we tapped in the weekly order block. I mean, this is historically a good level for AVAX looking left. So I started adding around the 24-20 mark on a lower time frame is what I was eyeing. And then I'll show you the macro harmonic too that you guys saw over here. Is around 25, so that's going to be a big pivot area if we can get ahead again in the future that can provide maybe a good long. If you guys remember, I did have a trade that we longed down here last time and we rode it up to here, and then this is where we sold with the bearish bat. I did actually enter back in. I got stopped out of a leverage position or just closed it when everything was going crazy. I tried to get in 24-20. We had a good little move up and then it started to fail again. I went back and I closed it negative. So the bat rocked this thing. Would have been nice to flip short there, but oh well. So just looking at this thing on a daily, it's a good area. And I mean, if you're looking for spot, like there's what's wrong with maybe marking some levels. Like if we get that, say we get this, I mean, those are two good DCA areas. And I mean, I think if we come all the way back down here, that might not be the best, but if you're gonna go into spot, maybe start, maybe save some room, or once we start to reclaim certain levels, maybe you can add back on the way up and compound. But I do think we're gonna start, we've seen most of the impulse down, in my opinion, for a lot of coins and alts. All right, so Solana, I mean, I've given you guys this time and time again. If you go back on any of my streams and look, I said, hey, we've tapped over the weekly order block over here, turn it into a breaker block. We've been holding the midpoint every single time. I have no reason to panic with Solana or sell my spot bags above $120. If we come back down, deviate for a little bit, and reclaim, that is no big deal. I need to see 120 lost before I decide to sell any of my Solana that I bought back in at these levels. And 328 is still my target for a higher time frame. And yes, there are levels that mark a lot lower on Solana, so I can go over some things. We had one bullish bat. God forbid this happens. I want you guys to know the level that I will try to shove in again, which would be $40. God forbid that happens. $40 is an area I am shoving Solana again. And then a Gartley-like structure down around 85 too, if we get that low. And for that to happen, I need to see us lose 120 before I start looking at lower levels. I have levels marked off. That's just for the future in case things happen. All right, so Sol BTC still kind of chopping in a range at the moment. Sol ETH, just for a little comedy on the side here. This is where Frank from DeGods merged over to Ethereum and Polygon and Matic at the bottom. This is where Frank from DeGods moved back onto Solana. So far at the top consolidation. Yes, this can go higher, but I just had to point out how bad of a trader Frank from DeGods is. Literal stone cold bottom. And I mean, higher time frame when you're looking at this, just in general though. I mean, we start breaking above this on Solana. I mean, this could be like a massive move for Solana. Just stair stepping its way up. Higher low, higher low, higher low. And you can actually see once we start breaking up above this level, I mean, there's a potential for Solana versus Ethereum to moon really fucking hard. So that's something to keep an eye on. The weekly FVG versus Sol versus ETH filled as well. So just keep your eye on this because, I mean, you do have higher lows forming. Each low is getting bought up. So it could be an explosive move versus ETH in the future. Let's see here. Gartley structure almost. I guess I had that kind of marked already. 1618 would be up here. All right. Let's look at seat pool. I haven't looked at this one recently, but it was coming into a good opportunity zone. Especially if you guys want to buy some real world assets. 786 pullback, it looks like. Here was the shark that I was talking about earlier. There was an alternate bat, I believe, as well. The alt bat went lower, so this one right here, if I'm not mistaken. $1.13. I think I have another chart of this. I gotta see which one I did it on because I actually took my time on it earlier in the week. Maybe this was it. Yeah, there it is. All right, alternate bat, and then the whole 886 reversal of the whole move up that we've had. I would look for now between that and 6 cents if you're going to look to DCA into this for an alt. And I still think this is a good asset that can go on a good run in the future. And we've retraced a lot of the move, so if I were to, I should really just hide this. So if you're just looking at this chart and you're still bullish for real world assets moving forward in the cycle, I mean, you can actually look at C-Pool fundamentally. No, I gotta look at Ondo. Ondo will be next. Ondo's my favorite, so I'm saving that for last. This is starting to go into a good area for C-Pool for more accumulation. If you want to accumulate this one, I would love to get it down at this level again. I don't think we're gonna get that low, but this would be a damn good level. My magnet is like stuck right now. So let's see. I think we tapped into the order block on this one. Yep. So this is definitely a level to watch out for on C-Pool, which could be a good accumulation zone. I mean, just back to all-time high, you're looking at like a 5x, 4x. Yep. I'll check Ondo right now. All right, so a couple things I was watching Ondo. Again, I had this harmonic that did not work. It failed. I was looking at this Gartley here. It held for the first go around. We had a good trade on this one for the first go around. This time it failed for a type 2. Might have hit the hop level. I'd have to check another one. But for now, we could be forming this Gartley and then like a bat-like structure from here to here. With your 886 being probably the level we're flirting with right now. So For me, Ondo, the cheaper I can get it, the more I'm going to try to keep stacking this thing. I think a good DCA range would be in this area. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this area. I mean, I would ideally be looking to hold, hopefully in this area. You have your order block right here. Lowest I'd want to see it is down like 49 cent. Lowest. Before I would probably have to capitulate. Or just, if I'm still bullish at the time, have to add more. But this is one that I've been in since 20 cents. I did sell a lot at 137 and I did buy it back here. So this is one I added a little bit more to recently, but I don't have a ton more to add since I did add here and was wrong, and it dipped probably another 20% from my add at 80.5. Yeah, it dipped 20% more than from my add. It's down 11% from my add for spot. But I did sell a lot at 137, so I did save myself a good drawdown at least by waiting until 85. 41%. So overall, I still did good on this one. Obviously, I could have been a little bit more patient here and waited for this, but I did not think we were going to come all the way back down to this area. I thought we were going to fill this daily fair value gap. We were going to type 2 return on the other Gartley pattern that I had, which was this one. I thought we are going to type 2 return into like an 886 here, into this fair value gap, and also hold this alternate bat that we had, which was here. Yeah, like right here. So I thought this level was going to be the area. Obviously failed. But I am still holding my spot of this one. Just a channel you can look at in Ondo right now. Probably if you just draw like a regular parallel channel, it shows up pretty nicely in it. So that's a channel you can put on for Ondo right now, just to help clarify things a little bit when you're looking at this. From the entire move, you hit the 618 pullback of the entire thing too. So yeah, this is probably where I want to bid Ondo, and I have bid Ondo. I bid a little early. I bid here again. So I'm going to hold this personally. I mean, this RSI is insane, severely oversold on the daily, like severely. What up, Ferris? You laughing at Ondo? Alright, let's look at Mumu. I haven't looked at Pepe yet either. Oh, one more I want to look at, because this is a beautiful harmonic that I wanted to point out to you guys. Render. R-E-N-D-E-R now. It was R-N-D-R. They rebranded to Render. So this X pivot here, 618. Last time we had a Gartley on Render, this thing was fucking beautiful. So I wanted to point this one out because we have another Gartley tapped into 454 today. I posted this earlier in my Discord. I actually took this from a long while I was at a dinner table earlier from like 450 for now. But this was just a beautiful harmonic on Render here. And last time we had a Gartley that I took a long on and made some good money, it was down in here. It was this level, I believe. This was the last Gartley on Render, and Render loves putting in Gartley patterns for some reason. But this was the last one. We chopped around there for a while, so like it doesn't mean you have to get in right this second, but because we could come back down and retest it and give you another opportunity. But this was the last Gartley on Render, and now we have this big one here. And to top it off, you had a weekly level here. So you got a lot of things lining up in this area. So I like Render a lot here personally. Right back to this consolidation zone that you had. Nice order block here. Tapped right into the order block perfectly. That's what that green line is I had marked earlier. Last down candle before up. Right? And that order block lined up right at your 786 harmonic. So Render looks good. I think this is one that, I mean, if you're going to have a close invalidation, I mean, I would personally keep it down below here, like 358 if you're in spot. But, I mean, that's got great potential upside. Yeah. So keep your eye on this one, because the Gartleys are also my favorite pattern. So, I mean, God forbid this thing $20 from here, potentially. We'll have to see, all right? Can't believe this thing was 40 cents, right? Still holding above a 10x from beginning a cycle. Yep. Need some more bars going on this one. Exactly what you said, Wayne. Let's get some more. Give it some time to develop down here. Let's see if we can start seeing early signs of reversal. At least 3 bars. We need to see here in a row up to give us a little bit of upward momentum here. One thing with I wanted to point out on SPY too. I don't know if you guys saw this, Ferris and Wayne. I'm sure Scott or Mitch maybe have seen this. I'm not sure if they did or covered it. But the SPY has a Gartley right now. You had a 618, a 618, almost a 1618, and a 786 here pretty much for SPY. And you tapped into a weekly order block right here. So I want to see how the stock market's going to act with this. I mean, if Bitcoin just crashed over the weekend, the stock market took most of the dump in last week, and we start to reverse. We have a bullish new moon right now as well. This could start marking areas of bottoms. Even though I was probably about a week too early. A few days too early even. Mumu. Still in this one, man. I'm holding Mumu. Last time I told you guys to buy this one, it was down here. We're still holding above a 2 to 3x from my place I told you to buy on Mumu. We've got up to like a 6 to 7x, but so far for a pullback wise, we've retraced 618 of the move again. So ideally for Mumu, I see us start putting in a bottom. Maybe we get an ABCD pattern. I think Mumu is going to be a great coin. I do think this one's going to do continuation upwards. But let's see. For me, it would be ideal for us to start bouncing from this area. I like Mumu a lot. And God forbid this keeps coming down from here. I mean, I would just be looking at a macro Gartley, say if we do nuke farther. Something like this on Mumu. If we're going to reject and we start coming back down, this would be my last buy on Mumu. And Mumu, if you look at on-chain, there's a wick to Mumu that's like up in this range, like way up top here somewhere. I don't want to look at death crosses, man. Go look at every death cross that's happened for the most part. Usually the inverse happens. Buzzword. Holy shit, Osmo. Oh, did Say come down and complete the shark finally? No, it hasn't even completed the shark yet. This is my... I thought I had alert set too. Ideal entry for Say, again. Like, if I had... Fuck. For Say, I really would love to get this. I don't know if it's gonna fucking happen. But I mean, 20 cent Say, I'm fucking buying more there if we can get that on Say, and that would look great on a higher time frame chart, right? We would sweep the low, come into a bullish harmonic, reclaim, go. So we'll see, but I mean, that's the area that I would really love to get on Say again. 20 cents, because that just even to $1 again, that's a 5x. SNX just finishes bullish shark. Swept all the lows. Wow. These coins are at a discount, man. But, okay. Anything else you guys want to look at before I head off? I think there might have been one thing I'm missing too. I just would not focus on leverage here yet. Build your spot, guys. This is going to be areas that you want to build some spot. If you survive through this, build your spot, add some spot, at some levels, mark off like 2 to 3 levels for each coin. If we get continuation lower, have a plan for that. Build some of your bags. Whoever says the bull runs over, I do not believe so whatsoever. Could be wrong. But just historically speaking, like based on every other cycle, I'm not going to bet against the probabilities of us just putting in a higher low potentially here on Bitcoin, maybe sweeping it one more time, forming one more divergence, and then going full send from there, and you're going to wish that you had accumulated some bags. But if that's money you need for other stuff and just to live life in general, then yeah, maybe you shouldn't. But let me know what you guys want to look at real quick. Nvidia, dude, I'm not touching Nvidia. It just pumps so fucking much, and I don't know, man. I'm not touching it. The only way I touch Nvidia again is if we come back down. I mean, even if Nvidia did something like this, that would be more likely for me to come and try to touch Nvidia again. Like 89. Had a 618 pullback though, which is nice. But personally, I'm staying away. This is the one that I'm really looking at on AMD, is this Gartley. I have alerts set on this thing too. They're like fucking sprawled out here. Maybe get a cipher. This could be a potential cipher here on AKT. $2. I like Mog. I'm in Mog from lower. Yeah, you don't have to use it. The only thing it messes with is the C point when you use it. Like, it'll be the same pattern except for the C point. It's not that big of a deal. And then it measures the 786 from here instead. That looks good. Even though this is where I had it from originally. So I know you said you have to use the cipher tool, but I mean, there's only a small difference in my opinion. This is still going to be the same ratio. The only difference is how this point, C point, is measured. Everything else is going to be the same. You see what I mean? The only difference is the C point. So like for me, the way I look at it is like if we're gonna liquidity sweep here, the C point I don't really care about as much as more of the B point and then the D point. So either way, it usually works. No, Akash is like it's like render, man. So render has the Gartley, right? And this could, I mean, here. Render has a Gartley right now. And let's see if I pull this from here, to be honest. So maybe a little bit lower on this. We'll see. You know what I mean? But from the 786 to the 886 here, those would be ideal for spot. Yeah, the extension up here is different, but that I don't really worry about too much. That's why I don't bother with it for the most part, other than this. I mean, how is it going to close? Not good. If you want me to be quite honest. The monthly is what's the thing. They manipulate it after the monthly close, right? So they close the monthly above this level because they want to keep it looking good, right? So they close the monthlies above that level. Some of them were, the bottom of it was down here, right? Like, but above this monthly close. What they're probably gonna do if one, either they nuke it, yeah, you have a monthly engulfing of all that, right? Or two, they do another wick, and you're gonna look back at this, and on the monthly, it's gonna be fucking obvious. They're just gonna manipulate the beginning of the month to go ahead and turn it around towards the end of the month. No, Carney does not recognize the cipher. He does not use the cipher in his books. I barely use the cipher. I typically look for a shark. But on patterns like that for like Akash, I will use a cipher. Like H&T, I will use a cipher. Like H&T here, I used a cipher to call the bottom here. Alright, guys. I think I covered everything you guys wanted to look at. For now, I'm not rushing into anything. I took something on render. I'm still in BTC. Ondo, there's going to be a wide area that I'm going to have opportunity for this for. And I mean, the meat of your move first anyways is going to be breaking out of the bull flag that we have. Not even a bull flag, just like the channel that we have here. The meat of the move will be when we break out of that to even start with. Yeah, the sell pressure is gnarly. So before I rush into anything, just give it some time, guys. Go relax a little bit. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Let's see how markets open Monday and go from there. See you guys.